Shalom Aleichem, Boker Tov. Um, just a quick video, just observations, I guess. So, in thinking more about the propaganda from Israel of the 55 children gassed, um, there's so much conflicting information. One report says the babies are in critical condition, others are saying they're dead. And it's not like there's a consistent timeline, right? So it's not like initially they were in critical condition and then they died, and now after 4:45 a.m. Israeli time yesterday or whatever, all the news reports are now saying they're dead. No, I saw the news report saying 2 babies hurt, and then someone said 3 babies died, and then someone said the babies are dead, 2 babies killed, and then Times of Israel or Meaningful Minute had another post saying critical condition, as not dead. And that's the timeline of these posts too. So, but in that, the last post that I saw from Meaningful Minute said that it was carbon monoxide. So points to me for the efficacy of my forensic psychology in determining that it was a gas leak, right? That it wasn't liquid or food, etc. So carbon monoxide hurts adults too, but magically somehow there's no adults in that headline. It's only 55 kids and a couple babies, or 3 babies, depending which source you go to. So obviously propaganda. Even if it's real, it's still propaganda. Oh, the kids, think of the children. Right? Emotional manipulation, empathy manipulation, emotional blackmail. Yeah. But I could not help but think of all the children and babies that have died as a result of cannabis or CBD. Both of those things. I recall, I believe it was 2017, maybe 2018. I saw some headlines of babies that had died as a result of cannabis, and there was different methods of death. One was a toddler, I believe in New York City, who had consumed marijuana brownies and the heart stopped. So this is a really common effect of cannabis, is cognitive impairment. So the parents with the baby, because they were stoned, they spaced the brownies where the baby would eat them. They probably thought, oh, he's fucking, he's a little stoner. Oh, fuck, he's dead. And so you see this with a lot of grifters, or at least one grifter. This Chinese doctor on YouTube who tried to give doctors advice in the form of, oh, well, if you're going to do your edibles, just keep them out of the reach of children. Yeah, no, if they're doing edibles, they're mentally handicapping themselves. That's what they're paying for. That's the whole point. If they're not mentally handicapped, they're getting ripped off. Mentally handicapping yourself when you're responsible for the care of a baby or a child means you're a negligent parent, and you should have your kids taken away, and you shouldn't be allowed to breed because you're a marijuana junkie and you're placing your addiction over the health and safety of your children. Just factual statement. But I digress. So in 2018, when I saw that headline and I searched a little deeper, there was other ways kids had died as a result of parental cannabis use. Butane in making hash and wax, causing house fires and explosions that's killed a few babies of stoner parents. And poisoning and toxicity, right? Babies are small, they have smaller hearts and lungs and digestive systems, etc., still developing. So I think there was 268 or something like that deaths just in 2018 alone of children ages 1 day or whatever, right, 0 to 5 years old. And somebody had actually, this was before Google's AI really became what it was. And somebody had actually gone through and connected all these cases. They said, oh, look, this is all these child deaths have one factor in common: cannabis or CBD slash hemp, like the Spotsylvania woman. His 4-year-old ate the CBD gummies and died. And all of a sudden, the data vanished. Google suppressed the 268 baby and toddler deaths caused that year by cannabis. And that number has to be increasing every year with cannabis legalization policy shifts and increases in availability and consumption rates. So the same puppeteer that uses electronic devices and social media to psychologically manipulate and control the masses did not bat an eyelash for all the babies and toddlers that have died from the cannabis push, the cannabis industry. Didn't care at all. Water off a duck's back, like rain off a raincoat. But then they expect me to care about 55 Jewish kids that were injured. It's not even a fatality. They're just inconvenienced at best. They'll be fine. They'll live. That's supposed to demand my emotional outrage and upsetness more than all these dead babies and toddlers from cannabis, right? That's like the psychopathy or selective morality of the wealthy, elite, psychopath, child raping, Epstein Island pedophiles that are pushing marijuana and control the government and society, right? That's such a inconsistency with morality that if you associate this with the distinct bias in social media censorship, and you find patterns with all the different artificial intelligence, Chat GPT, Meta, Google, Grok, etc. These patterns are consistent with the same agendas being implemented through academia, through social media, and all the same markers, right? Feminism, Black Lives Matter, LGBTQ, etc. Marijuana. Very big marijuana pushers. So it would create a logical conclusion that whoever is behind all this, manipulation of the masses is in Israel and is Jewish, or at very least has a pro-Israel, pro-Jewish bias. So does that mean that all the children and babies that have died as a result of the cannabis push, their lives didn't matter because they were goyim and they weren't Jewish? And so 55 Jewish kids that were injured are more important than the thousands of non-Jewish babies and children that have died as a result of cannabis, right? This is a in-group morality and out-group hostility that you see throughout the entire existence and history of the Jewish people.